History isn't written in ink. It's carved in stone, buried in time, and sometimes it makes no damn sense. Every now and then, archaeologists and everyday people dig up something that defies all logic. An object so out of place, out of time, or beyond known technology that it leaves experts scrambling for an explanation. Some of these artifacts are so anomalous that they rewrite entire chapters of history, forcing us to confront the possibility that we might not know as much about the past as we think. This list isn't about the usual suspects. No Antikythera mechanism, no Baghdad battery. These are the artifacts that mainstream history conveniently ignores, the ones that make scientists uncomfortable, and the ones that, to this day, still don't have a satisfying explanation. Brace yourself, because once you see these, you can't unsee them. Number 15. The 300-million-year-old screw of Uçur. In 1998, a team of Russian geologists discovered something that shouldn't exist, a metal screw embedded in rock that was dated to be 300 million years old. At first, they thought it was a mistake, but X-ray scans confirmed that the screw wasn't just stuck in the rock. It was fully encased within a solid material, meaning it had been there since the rock formed. The screw was perfectly threaded, resembling modern machinery. Mainstream scientists dismissed it as a freak natural formation, arguing that it was just an unusual fossil. But that explanation doesn't hold up, because nature doesn't produce symmetrical machine-like screws inside ancient rock. If real, this discovery suggests one of two things. Either there was a technologically advanced civilization on Earth hundreds of millions of years ago, or someone or something dropped that screw here before humans were even a thought in evolution's playbook. Naturally, the artifact disappeared shortly after the discovery was publicized. Number 14. The Romanian aluminum wedge. In 1974, workers digging near Aiud, Romania, stumbled upon something that didn't belong, a strange wedge-shaped piece of aluminum buried 35 feet underground, right next to mastodon bones. The problem? Aluminum wasn't discovered until 1825, and producing it requires industrial-level technology. Yet, this artifact was estimated to be at least 11,000 years old, long before humans supposedly had the ability to refine aluminum. Further testing revealed that the wedge was 89% aluminum, with traces of other metals, resembling the type of alloy used in aerospace engineering today. Skeptics claimed it was a piece of modern equipment that got mixed into the dig site, but there was no evidence of industrial contamination. Others suggested it could be a fragment from an unknown lost civilization or even an ancient spacecraft. The artifact was sent for further analysis. After that, it mysteriously vanished. Number 13. The Salzburg cube. In 1885, a factory worker in Austria split open a lump of coal and found something that shouldn't have been there, a metallic cube with smooth edges and symmetrical cuts. The coal it was found in was estimated to be at least 60 million years old. That means whatever made this cube existed long before humans, or even primates, were supposed to be around. Early analysis showed the cube was made of iron and nickel, with a composition similar to modern industrial alloys. But instead of celebrating a history-changing discovery, the scientific community quickly dismissed it as an anomaly, claiming it must have been a misidentified natural formation. Then, something even stranger happened. The artifact disappeared in the mid-20th century. Only old reports and photographs remain. Was it really a lost piece of ancient technology? Or something even older than we dare to imagine? Number 12. The Shroud of Turin. This is one of the most controversial religious artifacts in history. But what makes it so mind-boggling isn't just the legend behind it. It's the science that doesn't add up. The cloth is said to be the burial shroud of Jesus Christ, bearing a mysterious image of a man's body burned into the fabric. But here's the thing. No one knows how the image was made. It's not painted, drawn, or dyed. Even after decades of testing, no known method perfectly reproduces the shroud's unique chemical composition and 3D image properties. Radiocarbon dating suggested the cloth dated to the 13th century, but other studies debunked those results, claiming the tested fibers were from a later repair job, meaning the actual age of the shroud could be far older. Some believe it's evidence of the resurrection, while others think it's a forgotten photographic technique from the past. Whatever the truth is, it's a scientific riddle that refuses to be solved. Number 11. The Fuente Magna Bowl. In 1958, a Bolivian farmer near Lake Titicaca found a ceramic bowl covered in strange inscriptions. Archaeologists were stunned. The symbols on the bowl were not from any known South American civilization. Instead, they matched Sumerian cuneiform, the writing system from Mesopotamia, over 7,000 miles away. Mainstream historians say there was no contact between Sumerians and South Americans. So how did an ancient script from the Middle East end up in a bowl buried in Bolivia? One theory suggests that ancient sailors crossed the ocean thousands of years before Columbus. Another theory? A lost civilization once connected both regions, one that was wiped from history before we ever knew it existed. If the Fuente Magna Bowl is real, it shatters our understanding of ancient trade, exploration, and communication. Number 10. The Quimbaya airplanes. Gold figurines found in Colombia, dating back over 1,000 years, have features that shouldn't belong in ancient times. Instead of animals or deities, they look shockingly aerodynamic, with wings, stabilizers, and even landing gear. Skeptics say they represent stylized birds or insects, but here's where it gets weird. Aeronautical engineers built scale models of them and tested them in wind tunnels. They actually fly. How could an ancient civilization accidentally create objects that follow the principles of modern aerodynamics? Principles that weren't even officially documented until the 20th century. Some suggest these artifacts were inspired by something they saw, possibly early experiments with gliders, or even something more mysterious. One thing is for sure, these weren't just random decorations. We mean just look at them. Do they look normal? Number 9. The 2,000-year-old shoe print in Nevada. In 1917, geologist John Reed discovered something that completely defied logic. A fossilized shoe print embedded in Triassic-era rock near Fisher Canyon, Nevada. The problem? The rock was over 200 million years old, long before humans, let alone shoemakers, were supposed to exist. The print wasn't just an odd shape in the stone. It had clear stitching patterns around the edges, resembling a modern sandal or shoe sole. Reed took the discovery to experts, and though some dismissed it as an unusual natural formation, others were baffled by its inexplicable precision. If authentic, this means that humans, or something wearing shoes, were around at a time when dinosaurs roamed the earth. Some theories suggest it could be evidence of time travel, while others argue it points to an advanced civilization lost to time. Despite attempts to further study the artifact, the print's exact whereabouts today remain unknown, adding another layer of mystery to an already impossible find. Number 8. The Nampa figurine. In 1889, a group of workers drilling a well in Nampa, Idaho, made a discovery that should have been impossible. A tiny, human-shaped figurine found at a depth of 320 feet, embedded in layers of soil dated to at least 2 million years ago. At that time in history, according to mainstream science, humans didn't even exist, let alone possess the ability to carve figurines. The artifact, which resembled a deliberately crafted doll, was made of clay and showed clear signs of intentional shaping, with distinct facial features and body proportions. Some argued it was simply modern contamination, but geologists confirmed that the soil surrounding the artifact had remained undisturbed for millions of years. If authentic, this figurine suggests one of two things. Either advanced humans existed long before we thought, or our understanding of the timeline of civilization is completely wrong. Number 7. The 1,600-year-old Swiss ring watch in a Chinese tomb. In 2008, archaeologists in China excavating a Ming Dynasty tomb, dating to the 1500s, were stunned to find something impossible: a tiny metal ring watch embedded in the dirt, with Swiss engraved on the back. The artifact was examined by experts, who determined it was a 20th century wristwatch. But that didn't explain how it was found sealed inside an undisturbed tomb from centuries earlier. Did it fall in during an excavation accident? That would make sense, except the tomb had never been opened before. Some speculated it was a hoax, but no clear evidence of tampering was ever found. Theories range from a time-traveling object, somehow slipping through history, to an unknown trade route that existed long before the Swiss were even making watches. For now, it remains an inexplicable anomaly, a modern object trapped inside a sealed past. Number 6. The Cochno stone. Buried for decades under layers of soil in Scotland, the Cochno stone is a 32-foot wide slab covered in intricate 5,000-year-old carvings, including geometric spirals, cup and ring patterns, and unknown symbols. Some believe it's an ancient map of the sky, while others argue it's a religious artifact, a landmarker, or even a lost form of writing. The markings are so detailed that when the stone was first uncovered in 1887, archaeologists quickly reburied it, fearing it would be damaged or stolen. It remained hidden for over 50 years. Recent efforts to study it have revealed that similar symbols have been found in other prehistoric sites across the world, suggesting a lost global connection between ancient cultures. The biggest mystery? No one knows what it was actually used for, or how a civilization thousands of years ago created something so mathematically complex without modern tools. All right, guys, now let's move to number 5, the Devil's Bible. Kept in Sweden's National Library, the Codex Gigas, or Devil's Bible, is a 165-pound medieval manuscript containing the entire Bible, medical texts, exorcisms, and even spells. But here's the weird part. Historical analysis suggests that the entire book was written by a single person. What's even creepier? The handwriting is perfectly consistent throughout, as if it was written in one sitting, something that should be physically impossible. Legend says a monk made a deal with the devil to complete the book in a single night to escape execution. A chilling detail? The manuscript contains a full-page portrait of Satan, unlike anything found in medieval Christian art. Even modern experts can't explain how one person could have written and illustrated the entire book without showing any signs of fatigue or errors. Was it the work of a genius monk, a supernatural force, or something else entirely? Well, drop your wild theory in the comment below. Number 4. The lost formula for Greek fire. During the 7th century, the Byzantines held back enemy invasions using a weapon so terrifying it might as well have been magic: Greek fire. Unlike normal fire, this substance burned even on water clung to ships and was almost impossible to extinguish. Accounts describe it as being launched from tubes or hand-thrown grenades, instantly turning enemy fleets into infernos. The Byzantines guarded its formula so closely that no one outside the empire ever learned it. And then, at some point in history, it vanished. Despite modern chemistry and historical analysis, no one has been able to recreate it. Some believe it was a mix of quicklime, sulfur, and petroleum, while others suggest a completely lost chemical compound. What makes it even more bizarre? The Byzantines used it for centuries, but never wrote down the exact recipe. It remains one of the greatest lost military technologies in history, proving that sometimes the most powerful weapons are the ones erased forever. Number 3. The Romanian Tărtăria tablets. In 1961, a Romanian archaeologist unearthed 3 small clay tablets at Tărtăria, a site in modern-day Transylvania. What made these shards of clay revolutionary? They had symbols and inscriptions that looked like writing, and they were dated to 5,300 BCE, making them older than Sumerian cuneiform, the world's first known writing system. If these symbols are a form of script, it would mean writing didn't originate in Mesopotamia as we've always believed, but in Eastern Europe, thousands of years earlier. Many scholars refuse to accept this, arguing that the symbols might just be decorations or religious marks. But others insist they show repeated patterns consistent with early writing. If confirmed, the Tărtăria tablets would rewrite history, proving that complex human communication developed in multiple places independently, or that an unknown European civilization predates the known birth of written language. Number 2. The Iranian copper scroll. Most ancient scrolls are delicate pieces of papyrus, but this one was hammered into pure copper, and for a good reason. Discovered in 1952 near the Dead Sea, this artifact wasn't religious or philosophical. It was a straight-up treasure map. Written in an ancient Hebrew script, the scroll lists over 60 locations where vast treasures were supposedly hidden across Israel and Jordan. The items mentioned, gold, silver, and sacred artifacts, would be worth billions today. But here's the kicker. No one has ever found the treasure. Scholars believe the scroll was written by the Second Temple priests, possibly to hide their wealth before Jerusalem was sacked by the Romans. Some even speculate that it could lead to the lost treasures of Solomon's temple, making it one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in biblical history. It's not just an old relic, it's an unsolved treasure hunt waiting for the right person to crack the code. Number 1. The Starchild skull. Discovered in Mexico in the 1930s, the Starchild skull is one of the most bizarre human-like skulls ever found. It has an enlarged cranium, shallower eye sockets, and no sinus cavities, making it completely different from a typical human skull. Initial DNA tests confirmed the skull belonged to a human child, but other aspects were so strange that researchers questioned whether it was a result of genetic mutation or even something non-human. Further analysis showed that the bone density was unlike anything seen in human biology. It was thinner, yet much stronger than a normal skull. Some scientists suggested it could have been the result of an ancient genetic experiment or a rare medical condition, but no known disorder matches all of its unique traits. Some have even gone as far as to claim it could be evidence of an unknown species or human-alien hybrid, but no definitive conclusion has ever been reached. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.